We good? All right. It says we're live. We'll give it a few seconds here. Just gotta wait for it to update. All right. Looks like we're good. Looks like we're up. All right. In 3, 2. Welcome, guys, back to our wrap-up from day one here at the GDEX / Corgs Expo. We are here. I've got Mike over here, and we've got a brand new newcomer here to the panel for today. We've got Marbs. Marbs, why don't you talk a little bit tell everybody who you are.
I'm Marbs, and I have an Xbox channel called Marbs Man. I also have a retro channel called Retro Marbs and a gameplay channel called Marbs Plays. But I'm an Xbox-oriented content creator. Not a good place to be these days. Trying.
Do you play a lot of Xbox?
Not really, no. More PC.
Oh, that's right. You're the PC guy. I bought a gaming PC, but I don't game on it. How bad is that?
Very bad.
It's almost like buying a convertible. No,
don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
Just drive it in the winter.
But you know what, though? In this wrap-up, that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. I thought it'd be cool because we were all walking around.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There's some vendors here for Korg selling stuff.
There are?
Yeah, they started to come in. They started to do all that. So
I won't lie, I was snooping.
What I wanted to do is we'll start off. I actually won a game. Mike was generous, and he took me around, and he was showing all these games. And this is by the company Super Rare. Why don't you talk a little bit about this, the Pedestrian, because he's addicted to it. What level are you at? 800 or something like that, you said?
I've got a lot of hours on that game. The cool thing about this game is like every developer here at GDEX, is everybody has their own flavor of games. So depending on what you're looking for, you'll find it. And if not, you'll find somebody who's in the process of probably making it. So the Pedestrian is a cool game. It's really the backgrounds are always different. I've been playing it for hours and hours and hours, and I've never come across the same background or the same template used. The gameplay is amazing. You're like a stick figure, and you're pretty much trying to get from one side to the opposite side of each level. So you have to move signs, you have to make connections using these like bridge wires, and as you progress, it progressively gets harder. The game's amazing. I mean, it is very unique. I've never seen a game out there like it, but the background is full animated. They have to have hundreds of hours in animation. Once you start playing it, you probably will never put it down. It does get harder and more signs. They have a lot of elements in it. I mean, I can't remember all the elements off the top of my head, but there are a ton of elements, different ways of doing things. From doorways to ladders to one-way motions, where if you go the one way and it's the wrong way, it starts you back at the beginning of that level. So it has quite a bit of it's got a good learning curve to it, and it's really easy to pick up. So if you were to play it, you would fall in love with it, and you probably never put it down.
Oh, okay. So this is the publisher.
Yeah, Super Rare is the publisher. SKM is the developer.
SKM is the developer. Okay, that was my bad. I didn't see that on the front.
Now, this is a puzzle game then.
Yes,
it was. But did you go over there and look at it?
Yes, I actually played this.
The background, like that's what drew me in with him when he was showing me was the background, all the graphical side of it. Mm-hmm. I was impressed. You were kind of bummed because there's no Xbox version.
There is. Actually, there is an Xbox.
Oh, there
version,
is.
But it's only digital only. Digital only.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, you can play it on Xbox. The physical edition, though, is only available from Super Rare. And interestingly enough, it is currently out of print. He told me today.
So I said it's the only physical copy. It's the Super Rare version of it. Do you not get that? Mm-hmm. He doesn't understand that. They told me this is it.
So let's just talk about the other.
Well, okay, hang on a second.
Hold on.
So the collector in me, since it's out of print, says don't open it.
No, don't open it.
But Steve after seeing Mike play it, says, "Oh, we are opening this when we get home, and we're cracking this baby open."
It's supposed to be a really great game. I played the demo over there. I was very intrigued. Actually, I told her, I said I'd like to get a copy of this. I can review it. It looks really good. And you say you're up to level 800?
Dude's been slamming on it.
I've been slamming on this game, and I'm still nowhere near done. You get to a level where you use portals and you have to get fuses, and so like one level could be like 12 to 15 screens, where like you go into a portal and you go into a different part of the map. You have to grab a spring and bring it back, and that spring allows you to get to the next part of the level to get a battery. And you got to bring that battery back through the level because you can't just drop the battery in the hole. You have to traverse the level backwards to bring the battery, and then you have to get a fuse sometimes. And so it's continuously changing, and like I said, there's a lot of gateways where you have to use switches to open gates, and if you open the gate wrong, you've completely bricked yourself where you can't get through that level, and you have to start all the way over and redo it. So the game is definitely challenging. Once you get to a certain level in here, it becomes very challenging, and you really have to count your steps, and you really have to pay attention to what you're doing to make it work. But it's an amazing game, and if you haven't tried it yet, I recommend doing the pedestrian.
So one of the things that we're going to do tomorrow, so make sure you guys tune in. We're going to go through some of these games because we have access to. I got some business cards for some of them. They were saying about going on YouTube and getting some footage. So we're going to pull that up, and Mike will be able to go through some of them because there's a lot of the games that you introduced me to today that like on Steam and stuff. So if you haven't checked it out, go check it out. Yeah. So you wanted to do something special. Go ahead.
Hold on, though, I do want to say shout out to SKM's new game. They have a new game that's in development, I was looking at the preliminary artwork and stuff and getting an idea of that. And it's interesting. I don't know if you noticed, they have a full Unreal style capture motion cap in their booth. Did you notice that? It was pretty dope. And they're using the motion cap in their booth to make 3D printed figures of
like a 3D printed head?
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
We know nothing. We know nothing about this.
Yeah, we don't know.
We know nothing. Can we get a camera shot over here on Mike?
Here it is. See, this is what I was just telling you.
Actually, let's go to my main camera. It'll be easier to see.
Yeah,
there you go. It's a 3D render with the filament.
Right.
You just picked it up when I went over to my game. They texted me. I was like, Mike, I think I won, and he's like, yeah. He's like, you did. So that looks really cool. I think I'm going to do one tomorrow.
You should.
I'm going to get my daughter to go over.
If you've never sat in one of those capture type of things and seen how that works, I mean, it's the same technology that they use in Unreal to rig the games. I mean, it was fascinating.
Well,
if you've never seen it.
He said, you got to see these cameras. Yeah. I'm like standing there. I'm like trying to figure out if there's a way we can hook it up to the TriCaster.
So one more thing, though, SKM, the other thing I was going to say, their new game, it looks very good. It takes place on a movie studio lot. Okay. And, I got to say, although they don't really know when it's going to be done, he kind of hinted at 27, so it's a little ways off.
That's a bit of ways off, yeah.
But it looked very good. And the reason that they were using this mocap and they were showing this is one of the things that they are focused on in the new game is they are trying to work on facial expressions so that they can make the faces more realistic. And I said, that is one of the areas that I know that I complain about a lot. But the
realistic approach.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want the same expression on the face of your characters all the time.
So that was one thing we didn't go through any of these. But what was the game that was that had the bugs? Because Toby and Daniel were playing it.
Let's see.
Because we can put that on top, so I can go hopefully try to find some footage tonight back at the hotel room.
This one right here. We
can show that card here. Pull up. See if we can. Yeah,
I was telling my partner Andre about this
QR
game.
Code on the back.
Show the QR code on the screen. This is an interesting game. If you've played something like Android Cactus before, this is sort of a twin stick shooter. Can I say that?
What do you think, Toby?
A
twin stick shooter?
Yeah, I'd say so.
The one that you liked with the bugs.
The bug one.
The bug one.
The bug one, yeah.
Would you consider that a twin axle shooter?
Twin stick shooter?
Twin stick. You have to use both sticks.
Well, he doesn't remember, but it's more like a twin stick shooter. I think it looked really good.
It looked good.
Now they're closer to release, he said. So what did he give you an idea on that one?
I don't know if he said specifically, right?
Yeah,
3 months.
It was close.
Oh, did he say 3 months?
He said 3 months.
Oh, 3 months?
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the other one that we were liking? It was like a storybook.
Oh, the story one?
Did you see that one?
Yes, I did.
That was a good one.
What was the Old West one? The Old West one was the one that I really. What the heck?
We didn't get a card from that because we were going to go back.
have one.
We're going to go tomorrow. Oh, okay.
What the heck was the name of that one?
What was the Western one? Do you remember?
That was a really. Okay, so this game is kind of in an Old West flavor. It is kind of a. You know what I call it is like a Western Zelda, and very well done. Very well thought out. It is very far in development too, but I can't remember the name of that one.
Was it over there in the far corner?
Right here around in the corner. I can't remember.
Tombstone?
Tombstone.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Tombstone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, I got to say, I played that. I played that for quite a while, Stephen, and I got to tell you, Tombstone's pretty good.
And that's only Steam, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Only Steam.
Now I got to tell you something.
See, you guys are making
something I do want to
PC stuff.
See, you're going to have to pull out the whole PC.
Something I do want to say. Okay, so for those of you who are like my regular viewers, because I posted, and some of you, I've asked every one of these devs about Xbox and ID at Xbox. I have not had one dev say no to me. I've had devs say to me that they are interested in bringing their games to Xbox, but Xbox isn't here. So
they're not here? I thought they were supposed to be here.
They were supposed to be here, but
They're a
I guess-
sponsor.
Yeah.
Oh, the sponsor.
So the thing is that these smaller studios, it's easier just to self-publish on Steam. I mean, it just is. And but several of them, Tombstone was one that they said they'd love to bring it to Xbox, and I think that if you're a Steam player, that's one you should definitely look at. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
That's
definitely.
probably why it's easier to go to Xbox because of Steam.
Well,
I mean,
Steam's
if
cheaper.
if the new Xbox,
True.
which Microsoft says is going to play Steam games, you know, I don't know how I feel about that yet. I still haven't sorted all that out in my head. But here's the thing.
But wait, hang on. They can't sell games currently on Xbox. Nobody wants one.
Okay, see, there's two problems.
Am I wrong?
No, see, you're not. And there is
Come on,
an
Mike.
issue.
Come on, Mike.
I mean,
back me
so
up.
here's how I look at it. Xbox throughout the years has had ample amount of opportunities
Yes.
to do things that
Yes.
they could have easily done because they are a computer manufacturer. Like they
Yes.
produce operating systems. They had
Yes.
opportunities all these times and never jumped onto
Yes.
it. So to try to do it now because Steam has a huge library. I mean, Steam has a huge library
Yes.
of games, and they found out that these creators, these game developers, don't want to lose 50% of their money every time a game is printed and released or goes
Yes.
through their store. So now Microsoft, I feel, is backpedaling to try to gain back some of the revenue. But I don't know, and this is my thing with Microsoft, just because it's printed doesn't mean it's going to be a reality because Microsoft in the past has made promises that they were going to do things and then they backed out after they've released the system. So do I think they're going to do it this time? Maybe.
Okay. Well, hold on. Can I interrupt you just 1 second? Okay. But what about the ROG?
Well, what about it?
Well, the new Xbox ROG plays Steam.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
It's just a sticker on it that says Xbox.
But here's the
you're
thing.
saying that because it doesn't play native Xbox code, but it will play native Xbox code eventually.
Well,
the latest we're hearing is that they're going to create an emulation layer to play those games on the ROG. Now, do I honestly think that's going to happen? Yes. Because I think it's about virtualization now and streaming from the cloud.
So here's the thing. So ROG makes your processors, they make a lot of the gaming hardware and stuff. But at the end of the day, if the software that Microsoft provides does not allow it, it won't do it.
Correct.
But you got to remember, Steam doesn't need them. Steam
That's
has its
correct.
own deck.
Yes.
So
Yes. And a second one, too. I noticed at Gamescom that there's a second one coming, too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So The thing is do I think Xbox is going to make anything promising this year for Steam? No, I don't. I mean, they have the hardware, but if the software doesn't match the hardware, it's a no-go.
Okay, but I'm just going to say that there have been several creators that have tested the Asus ROG, the Xbox Asus ROG, and they did say it plays Steam games.
So,
but they have admitted that the operating system needs more optimization.
But here's the other side. The creator of the game developer, has to release the rights to Microsoft to play it.
That's not true.
But they do.
That's not true.
Because if you get on Steam Deck, but if you get on Steam Deck right now, you can't play every game that's on Steam.
That is true.
No,
correct.
Yeah.
My understanding is that any Steam title that fits the hardware criteria should run on it. Now, as many people have said, running on it and running well are two different things.
But here's the thing. Go back 5 years ago when Steam got sued by its developers. When they did that, there was a clause added to everything. Any developer that processes it does not have to release rights to every device.
Really?
Yeah,
well,
so that's why if you look at Midwest Gaming over here in the back corner, they have rights, and Steam doesn't have the rights to any of their games.
Wow.
Even though it plays on Steam,
that's right.
It's allowed on the deck because they allowed it, not because Steam says, "Well, we are hosting it. Why can't we just sell it?"
Yeah.
They reserve the right, just like anybody else do, to sell or not sell whatever they make.
Okay, I've heard this now this is an interesting topic, and I think this is a topic a lot of people are talking about. My question to you then is this: what about Sony? Because I've been hearing that Sony's games in Steam will run on this thing. At least they do it currently.
So Sony has a complete different contract, and Sony's not Microsoft. Sony makes promises and tries to at least deliver on most of them, where Microsoft makes its promises and delivers on less than half.
Yeah.
So Sony has a better relationship with with Steam.
With their IPs.
Okay. So
you don't think they're going to block the Sony games on
no,
the Xbox ROG? I don't think so.
That would hurt it because, again, they slapped a sticker on it and said, this is our hardware, and they obviously want it to sell. If they can't sell it, they're not going to make money.
Do you want my bold prediction as an Xbox guy of what's next?
By the end of next year, Xbox, as we know it, will be dead.
No. What's going to happen the end of next year, is that you're going to see that there are three different companies making Xbox consoles. Because what I think is going to happen is they're going to adopt the 3DO model, and they're going to license the technology out to Asus, Gigabyte, and MSI, and they're going to build your consoles. Now,
Xbox doesn't want consoles anymore.
They
want you on a PC.
No, they don't. They want you on a streaming. They want you on a streaming stick.
Why not?
Like the Fire Stick.
Yeah, why not? That's what I said.
No, I don't want to stream my games from the cloud, and most people don't.
No, but why wouldn't they want to push everybody to the system? Because Microsoft owns stocks in every big technology.
There is truth to that.
So why produce a system when they could just say, you know what, build your own?
Like a streaming stick, like he's saying. How much is the Xbox? $500.
Yes.
Okay, let's say you got this kid skateboarding around. You haven't seen him, but he's skateboarding around.
Skateboarding around here.
If he goes into Walmart, it's Christmas time. He says to his parents, "Oh, Xbox has a streaming stick. Comes with a controller. You plug it into your TV. He gets access to his whole Xbox Live video games for $99 because where they're going to make the money is on the Xbox, gold accounts and online.
Okay, but there's a couple of problems there. Okay,
what's mom and dad going to do?
Okay,
you can have the latest
First of all, you have to have the digital rights to those games because if
they have thousands of games. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
with Games Pass,
talk about Game Pass.
So they pay $100 for this.
Right.
The streaming stick.
Right, the Amazon streaming stick and the
guys
controller.
From, the school of physical media, we're like, no, we don't want no part of that. We don't want no part of that.
No.
But these kids are going to be like, $100, mom and dad go, oh, it keeps little Jimmy happy.
Yeah, until the lag gets them from the streaming. Yeah, I did a big in-depth study of the Amazon streaming stick on Xbox, and I got to be honest with you. And I tested it with Fortnite, as a matter of fact. And I'm not a Fortnite player, but the latency was ridiculous.
But that's not because of the hardware.
Oh, I know that. That's your internet.
Yes.
That's internet. That is the biggest. That is the biggest problem. Is the servers and the internet are your biggest problems from streaming from the cloud.
But see, here's the thing. When you're buying those digital copies of any of those games, if you ever get rid of it, you don't get the money back for those games.
That is true. I can't tell you how many times you've been in a game store and a kid brings in a console and he says, "Oh, I have 300 games," and dude looks at Sam and says, "Dude, you have nothing because
they're going to wipe it out.
Because they're going to wipe the console."
That's right.
Yeah.
And they don't understand that, and that's kind of a. I find something peculiar lately. I have talked to a lot of Gen Xers and stuff who have an interest in physical media again because of the fact that they've lost rights to stuff. You know, like that, what was the streaming service that Sony owned that they shut down that was the anime?
What is it, though?
Well, Amazon's being sued right now.
Yes, I heard that
because of you when you rent something, there's a timeline from the time you rent it.
Yeah.
There's a time to live, a TIL.
Correct.
And that's all the time you get so you buy it for $5 or $6. You own it until Amazon no longer has space for it and gets rid of it. So when they do, so you can try to sue, and there are people who are trying. Do I think they'll get anywhere?
No.
Because you have a user agreement in place to protect Amazon.
Yes.
So
yes.
Do I think that physical media is going to go away? Only if the developer of the system decides they don't want to support it anymore.
Because look at a company like Evercade. Evercade is not going digital, so there's always going to be somewhere, whether or not it's not the official IP, right? They've already committed to it. They're creating physical. They have zero interest in going to the cloud.
And it's interesting, you talk about people that are doing that space. Atari too. I watched a very interesting conversation with Wade at Atari, and you know what? They really are all in on making new games for the 7800. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I was like, really? 700 games?
I don't know why.
$35 though. What do you think of that?
There's a guy here that does it. He's not here at this GDEX this year, but he makes them still, and he sells them all the time. 5, 10, 15 of them.
You have the loyalists that'll. I mean, I didn't really grow up like in the Atari era per se, like the 2800 or whatever, 2600.
2600.
2600.
7800.
My dad had it.
5200.
We played it. We played Frog Bog. We played Pitfall. And Pac-Man. It was like, this is great. And then we were like, can we get a Nintendo? Like, no, seriously. Like I remember going to a Boy Scouts thing. And,
there you go.
They had a video game night, and they had a bunch of Nintendos, and we were playing Rad Racer. And I fell in love with Nintendo, and that's what I asked for Christmas.
It's very interesting, though. I find what you guys are saying is compelling because when you talk about that space, I mean, that whole thing is a part of what I've talked to here. It's interesting.
They were like Jerry Springer. They're like, Steve, Jerry Springer.
So here's the thing.
The developers, are not against the physical. That's the one thing I find very interesting is I don't hear developers tell me, oh, we don't want to make physical games.
So here's the thing.
Yes, there you go. It's the money.
But here's the big thing. When a developer sells their game to an IP company to do the licensing and all the agreements and miscellaneous, every time they has to be printed on something, they lose a percentage of what they would have made.
Absolutely.
Not a bad thing, especially if you're a collector, or especially if you want the physical copy and not the digital. The only thing I can say about Xbox was that when the original Xbox came out, and the LAN parties where you could do the LAN parties and stuff like that.
Wow.
That was the best time to be an Xbox.
Yes. I remember those days. Halo LAN parties. It lets you LAN parties. Did you do that, Stephen?
We did when I was in college on the Xbox 360, believe it or not. That was...
Really?
You'll be happy. So now I'm going to give him some kudos here, okay? I'm going to give him some kudos here. So
thank you, Stephen.
When I was in college, we did Xbox LAN parties, and the 360, and I'll still say this to this day, was the best Xbox console that they ever created. The Call of Duties that came out on that was like top notch. Come on up, have a seat. We got just walk around. We're talking about how Xbox 360 was the best console that was made. I know.
Yeah.
You guys are crazy.
Of Xbox.
Yeah, he's not.
Throw the headset on. We'll get you.
Is this a non-swearing podcast?
Well, yeah, we're trying to keep
swear.
it. Yeah, because he's mad at me. So we were just joined. We were talking about the convention and Chris, not to butter you up. We're not doing
Please
that.
butter away.
But I was saying,
I need it. I'm dry.
this guy here, his passion for development and gaming expos, he has been the most accommodating person that I have ever met. Mike, you and I were talking about this earlier. Throw them up on they're working on it, but
Boy, that is some butter there.
no, we were talking about these guys. He can go back and listen to it. What do you think so far, Chris?
I think it's been good. Yeah, I think there's a lot of really.
You've been running around like crazy.
Yeah. Well, overall, it's been pretty smooth. There was one, I had a mini heart attack like an hour ago when people were like, they texted me and they're like, nobody can do any ticket sales. I was like, what? Like the system is down, but
That's not good.
Yeah, it wasn't actually an issue. We figured it out. So, but no, I think it's been pretty good vibes. I think tomorrow's going to be insane.
Yeah.
Just looking at the ticket sales, like we're the most number of tickets or like ticket type that we've sold is the weekend passes.
Really?
And 60% of those have not been redeemed yet.
Wow.
So a whole bunch of people bought weekend passes but didn't show up for Friday. So I'm like, okay. So tomorrow should be a fun experience.
I don't want to flex, but how many CORGSCONs have you done?
I think this is my fourth Korgs.
How many?
How
many you done?
0. I'm a GDEXer.
He's a GDEX.
You've never done a CORGSCON?
No, I was getting all the information of GDEX from him.
So I saw on the Discord they were talking about how long and how many CORGSCON. This one will be number 11.
Was it?
Of CORGSCON?
Yes.
I thought this was 18.
I was going to say, I think he's 16 or 18.
This is number 11 that I've attended.
Oh, that you've attended.
That you've done.
I was going to say, yeah, overall, I think they're at 18. Yeah.
I think my shirt's something else, yeah.
Before that, I didn't know it existed. But once I found it, I couldn't stay away.
They sucked you in?
Yeah.
They sucked him in.
Yeah, this is
about
year
that.
13 for GDEX, of which I've done all 13, of course. But
So Mike was
real
taking me
cool.
around, and he showed me the pedestrian and how he was addicted to it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
signed up
totally.
for the giveaway, and I ended up winning it.
oh, nice.
SKM, yeah.
So I'm looking forward to playing that.
We did. I used to do this thing called Game Club, where I'd pick a game every month and we play it. And I was like overdue to play the pedestrian for years. Skookum's a great company, and I played that game, and it's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It's really cool. It's really interesting. There's a whole bunch of secrets in there, and the ending's really interesting. So.
I gotta say, and this is interesting. Before I came here, my partner Andre, I said to him, I says, these are the guys that are going to be there. I'm going to talk to these developers. It's funny. He honed in right on them first, and he goes, "Oh my God, it's the pedestrian!"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "What? The pedestrian?" He goes, "You haven't played that? It's a puzzle game." I said, "No."
It's great.
It's great.
And it looks awesome. And just to flex
It's
it.
up to level 800. It's level 800.
Not me, Mike. Mike's got that.
So
800.
just to flex a little bit, we supported them in their early days, and we were one of the Kickstarters. And one of their awards, I forget whatever tier it was, we had it hanging in our office, is a giant sign, like a giant metal street sign with a little pedestrian guy on it.
Wow.
It's really cool. Cody's got that in his house now.
That's really
Now that's
it's
a
interesting.
piece of video game history there.
Yeah.
That's a real piece of.
Now
video
we
talk
were
about
walking
rare.
around. We were shooting some video and stuff. We're going to kind of go through some of the games tomorrow through the panels that we're doing here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all in all, like a lot of the games, they look awesome.
Yeah, every developer here definitely puts their heart and soul into them.
And the other thing is it's real important to communicate this to the audience that, one thing I think when you come to GDEX and you talk to these developers, you find that it's so much art, Chris.
Absolutely.
It's art. It's not.
I firmly believe that video games are an art form.
And that's the thing. I think people forget that when you're making art, there's not really a timeline on making art. So, people remember delays and those types of things. It's just like I'm talking to some of these guys, and they're saying, oh, I don't know when this is coming out.
Yeah.
They don't know, but
there's that famous Shigeru Miyamoto, like creator of Zelda and Mario and all those things. He's like, in essence, I forget the exact quote, but like a bad game is forever. A delayed game, is only for so long. So spend the time getting it right. A lot of the folks here, they're doing it on the side. They're hobbyists or whatever.
Yeah, that was the thing, I think, Chris, too, that was a real shock to me is two of the guys I met who were working on Tombstone. Oh, they work at I'll just say they work at a Tier 1 insurance company during the day as programmers. And this is just a passion project.
Yeah, that game's awesome. Tomb Raider's awesome.
That's good.
Did you go over and get your 3D head like
no? So exclusive here, as long as everything goes well, is on Sunday. My dog Baby is going to make an appearance, and so we're going to go and see if we can get if the machine will be able to capture her and turn her into a 3D thing, and then I'll do mine at the same time. So most people who've come to GDEX know who Baby is. But back to your point, I say this all the time, is every year at GDEX, it's like the games are just getting better, they're better looking, like they play better. And one of the things I think is really cool from a community perspective is like I go to a fair amount of events, like gaming events, PAX and GDC and things like that. And it's really cool seeing folks, for example, that come to the ISE section, which stands for Independent Student Experimental. And we started that as like an inexpensive way for students and hobbyists who are maybe like a little bit nervous about showcasing at a show. They can get a table. We cover the electric for them, so it's like the cheapest you can get. And it gives them a chance to kind of just be in an environment like this. And then the next year, maybe they get a booth. And then they see the other booths around them like have cool banners or whatever, and they're like, okay, next year we're going to do that. And then there's been some devs at the GDEX, part of the GDEX community that we've seen then at PAX. Right. And like a really awesome looking. There was one year in PAX, I think it was 2018. There was like 11 GDEX family studios at PAX.
That's great.
It was awesome.
Correct.
Well, that's like what you were saying, Mike, earlier about giving back to the giving back to the community with the development.
Yeah, like I've always said, and like me and you talked about a couple podcasts ago, was like GDEX is home to a lot of people, a lot of families, a lot of communities. Like this place brings in the best of everybody, and there's, like I said, pretty much no negativity here. So all these game developers blossom because they get other people from the other views of video games that give advice, give good advice, and it's a big family. So I mean, when you come place where you feel welcome and loved, you have a tendency of doing better, and that's what GDEX is about.
So let's get back to the action on hand when you were coming up here. Sure. The best Xbox that was ever made. He was talking about LAN parties. We did it in college.
Okay.
I did 360. We did Call of Duty, Halo. That's what we played on. That was like all. Sure. I still felt like they had the best online experience.
Yes. Yeah.
Even over Sony, and I love Sony stuff. I still say the 360 was the best Xbox created, minus the Red Ring of Death.
minus the largest manufacturing snafu in history.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about that.
Listen, everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Some people just do $2 billion worth of it.
Yeah, and there is one thing to say, though, about that. Is Xbox did stand up, said we did make a mistake, and we're going to fix it.
He's an Xbox super fan, so I like to give him
I agree with you. They took a little cajoling in the beginning, but it didn't. They were pretty quick in realizing they made a mistake.
Yeah, they realized.
I had 3 Red Rings of Death.
Yeah. Did you really?
Yeah, I had 4 Xbox 360s.
You want to hear something funny? I've never had one.
Really?
Never.
Really?
Nice.
None of them. I've owned 6 of them. Never had one.
Wow.
I don't know why.
I will agree with you, though. I think there was something special about 360's online community and system. Like, it was just so easy to get on.
Yes.
I mean, you got your nonsense always on voice chat stuff, but most of it was like real, welcoming and fun, and it was just really cool to be able to just easily jump on and play with friends. I totally agree.
And that's the thing is like the Xbox really made online something different, and they were really good at doing that. And I think that was their niche. But I also feel like they got away from that in the Xbox One era, and that's hurt them. It really has.
Yeah, I don't think Xbox has found itself, and they're getting like just pummeled in sales. And
absolutely, and that's part of why they're changing their new all-in everywhere strategy. It's people say to me, "How do you feel to be an Xbox content creator?" I said, "Not very good lately."
Yeah,
not very good.
Well, now you can play all those PlayStation games, so
Well, about that.
He just confirmed it. You were arguing earlier about that, and he just confirmed it for you.
So ask me that question I asked you before, Stephen.
What did I ask you before? I asked you a lot of questions before.
No, I said, ask me what games I've been playing
okay.
lately.
What game has you been playing this week?
I've been defending Managed Democracy in Helldivers more hours than I can even remotely say. Now, look, it's a Sony game. I went in thinking, I'm going to hate this thing. I have to hate this
Why do you
thing.
hate Sony that bad?
Hold on.
There's
so many good
games.
Hold on. And then I started playing it, and then I said, I like Managed Democracy a lot. So I couldn't stop playing it.
Okay.
So I guess my opinion
you're doing your
is
part
now. Yes, I'm doing. Yes, I have been doing my part.
Have you played Spider-Man or Miles Morales at all?
I played Spider-Man.
Or God of War, Last of Us.
Oh my gosh, Last of Us.
Hold on, I've never played that.
Oh my god! All right, you're fired. Get off the panel.
That's a Sony title. That's like you guys all who said, "Oh, I've never played Gears of War."
Ratchet and Clank.
That's like one of the best games.
Ratchet and Clank was a time ripped apart. Is awesome.
Okay. So
I like Gears. I like Gears as much as the next year.
I play Halo.
There's some Xbox titles exclusive that back in the old days that were really good.
No, we're not taking it away from that. That's not what I'm saying
I know,
at all.
but I haven't played the Sony.
But the fact that
I've never even owned a Sony console. Do you want to know why I don't like Sony? Okay,
if you're a gamer, you want everything.
I'll tell you. Watch this. Okay, so
they're going to eat you up on this. I'm telling you.
I like Helldivers. Helldivers was inspired by Halo. That is true.
No,
Starship Troopers
was not.
It was inspired
by
Halo and Starship Troopers.
Where's that can that you have?
Okay,
where is that at?
So hold on.
I think somebody put something inside.
Something.
So here's the thing. I've never owned a Sony console. That is correct. And I really have no desire to own a PlayStation. However, what I will say is that has been an interesting experience. The reason I haven't owned a Sony console is because Sony has got me a few times. First, they got me with beta, then super beta, then mini disc, and then long play mini disc. And then I bought HD DVD instead of Blu-ray.
So your issue with Sony is that they changed technologies 40 years ago?
No, my issue with Sony is they build stuff and don't support it.
Yeah.
Every company does that.
I know.
No, I mean, geez,
It's
not
cool.
like
I
the
know.
Windows Phone or Zune or
BlackBerry.
Now, Microsoft...
Heaven forbid technology
Microsoft
changes.
has had their...
I'm
their
with you.
moments
I'm with
too.
you. I'm just
Right.
teasing you.
No, I know. I mean, look, if you're an Xbox guy, you can't hide from this. I mean, how do you hide from this?
I mean, I was a
can't.
360er, and I didn't have a PS3. And then I ended up jumping to PS4 after the Xbox One debacle at
You
E3.
could call it that.
Yeah, I was just like, what is this thing?
Yeah, I had no idea.
but-
That was my first day one console. Did
Yeah.
you know that?
Yeah?
First day one.
Wow. Yeah,
I never had bought a day one before that.
Last of Us is what I think really pulled me in. Because I
The Last of Us is
Yeah, and so that pulled me
Great
back
game.
into the Sony. But I had a PS1 and PS2.
So you mentioned Uncharted. It seems like
No
a
Xbox.
lot
No
of the,
Xbox.
a lot of
No
the-
original Xbox.
You need to play.
But I have a 360.
You need to play Uncharted. You need to play The Last of
Is
Us.
that Uncharted? Is that Drake game?
Yes.
Drake's
Yeah,
Fortune?
Nathan Drake.
That's like the Indiana. That's like Indiana Jones,
Dude,
right?
it's so fun. It's so fun.
It's like Indiana Jones, right?
It is.
Well, I played Indiana Jones. It's the same thing, right?
No.
Just trust me on that. Like, if you go to Uncharted with an open mind, it's a lot of fun. The characters
Yes.
are real, like charming, and it's just trying to be a fun video game.
Well, I got to say, I mean, Helldivers, I did not at all expect it to grab me like that.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And now I will say this. I think if I would have known at the beginning that it was an extraction shooter, I'm not really big on extraction shooters normally, but not knowing was very good because I was able to go into it with rather open mind. Not to mention that all my friends forced me into playing it.
But Mars, why do you have to have so I own an Xbox.
Yes, you do.
The latest
I'm so proud of
Xbox.
you.
I have a Switch 2. I have a PS5. And I buy games for all of them except for Xbox, and I'll tell you why.
Because you hate
Xbox.
Xbox.
They haven't brought anything out worth me buying except recently. They brought out the Metal Gear. That was it.
The which one?
Gears of War.
Gears of War. That's the only thing. What else do they have? Tell me.
Speaking of Metal Gear, PlayStation.
Metal, yeah, right.
Okay, and
Am I right?
You're right.
If they brought out something else,
If somebody
Metal Gear
came,
Delta runs better on Xbox. Everybody,
what does?
Metal Gear Delta's running better on Xbox.
Oh, is it? Well, I
Needs optimization on PlayStation.
I have no faith in Konami these days, but
I don't either.
If somebody came and threw like a PS5 Pro at you, you wouldn't grab it for free. You wouldn't take it. You would plug it in that beautiful TV of yours.
I will say to you that there is a retailer here in the city who has been trying to get me to do that. What he has proposed is that I sell my whole Xbox collection and buy a Sony and Switch.
Wouldn't be a bad idea.
And I said, I don't know that I could do that.
You could do it.
I couldn't.
That's all right. Play what you feel comfortable with. I just think keep yourself a little open because there's some really good.
And that's the thing. Here's my message to you, Xbox folks. If you haven't played Helldivers, which is a Sony game, and you're on the fence because it's a Sony game, don't be. It's good. It's very good. And I have enjoyed it very much. It's an experience that was very unexpected. I didn't expect to enjoy it. I went in it thinking, this is Sony shovelware, and I don't want to be part of this.
Sony shovelware.
And geez, I'll tell you what, it wasn't.
Oh my!
It wasn't.
I hope Sony doesn't listen to this.
I don't care if Sony listens to
Mr.
it or
PlayStation,
not.
please.
I mean, look. I don't.
You need to go out and touch grass every now and again. I'm just saying.
Look, I'm not saying that it's in. Look, if you like PlayStation, play on PlayStation. You like Nintendo, play on Nintendo. I mean, I do own a Switch. You know that. I mean, I've told Stephen that before, and I do play on Switch too.
But okay, so like I was talking with Mike earlier. Remember, I said to you, I don't really play games on PC.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But after walking around the convention here, I was sitting here going, I have a gaming PC.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should pick it up as another option to play some of these great games.
I gotta say,
I don't really play much on PC, but it's mostly because I'm so busy that like when I want to sit down and play a game, I don't want to be updating drivers. I don't want to be keeping Microsoft Windows updated. It just
And that's what, to be fair, that's what steered me away because I remember as a kid.
Yes.
Okay, so I grew up in the era with Duke Nukem 3D. Everybody remembers that.
I do.
Okay, Doom and Final Doom.
Yep.
All these kids are like, yeah, we got Doom. It's like,
Quake,
bro,
too.
we had Doom way back. And Quake. And I remember getting Quake and paying $60 for it.
$60.
Putting it in, put the CD in, and it pops up on the screen. Your DirectX and graphics card is not supported.
It's unsupported.
And I'm a kid. I don't have money to go out and buy graphics. So I just spent $60 on a game I can't even play.
Right.
To your point,
Right.
exactly.
Yep.
Right.
And that's why I've been, we'll say, tainted by the PC world, right?
The other thing is that I think is interesting about that, though, isn't that have to do with the living room thing or your family room thing? Like, when you run a game, do you, because you're a PC gamer, you have to go to your PC space, right? You're not gaming on your TV, are you?
Not necessarily, no. I mean, there's multiple options now to mirror stuff over to your regular TV.
Okay.
I mean, most people, don't even buy a computer monitor anymore. They hook it to their TV. So just putting a mini ATX underneath your TV with a wireless keyboard and mouse, or even like the Steam comes with a toggle and controller, you can play most of the games on your TV in your living room.
Yeah. That is me. I'm couch and TV kind of gamer now.
Yeah, me too. I got to admit that I used to be a PC gamer when I first started, but when I switched to OG Xbox, that's when I really became, entrenched in my...
But that's right. You have to be
fun.
all in or not at all. That's the way I feel PC gaming has been. Like you you have to be all in, or because, like you said, with the drivers and everything like that, you have to be dedicated to it. I don't mean like fanboy. I'm talking.
There's more overhead that you have to do, but it also gives you more options. There's besides just the number of games, if you're willing to chunk out the money, you can get some pretty awesome looking stuff.
It's interesting, though, after walking around looking at all these games on Steam. I mean, I got to say, dude.
Didn't I say that to you earlier?
Yep.
I was like, I gotta. Now, my son, he started getting into Steam. But they've been doing more VR. I can't do VR for more than like 20 minutes. Otherwise, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I get nauseous.
I get nauseous.
You want to hear a GDEX, a VR GDEX story?
Yeah, let's hear
of
this.
the past. So there was this really awesome game. It was a horror game. This was like maybe 6 years ago. Everyone was talking about this horror game, and they were just like, you have to play this game. If you play this game, I gotta go. I'm like, I'm always running around like a crazy person at GDEX, and I finally was like, okay, I'm gonna go play this game that everyone is talking about. And I sit down, and they're like, do you want to do it on the screen or on VR? I was like, well, if we're going to do it, let's do it right? Let's put it on VR. Yeah. And so they put on the VR helmet, they give me the controller, and what is the first thing you do whenever you get a controller is you test out all the buttons, right?
Test out all the buttons.
Well, they didn't disable the left stick look, or the right stick look. So I'm in VR, and as soon as I hit the right stick and the camera moved, but my head didn't,
and your stomach went,
my brain just like shattered, and I just felt so nauseous for like hours afterwards. So,
no, I agree with that. I've Resident Evil 7, I think I played in PSVR 1, which has got to be at the time it was probably good, but playing it today after playing Meta 3 or Meta 2 or even PSVR 2. I get up in the one scene when the grandma comes crashing through the roof. I darn near got sick because same thing. I hit the camera.
You're flailing everywhere.
I was like, I'm done. And I love those types of games.
It's interesting. All of us are rather older, and all of us get dizzy playing VR. What's that say?
I just think it's because the camera and the lens is just not up to what our eyes can see. I don't think it's necessarily.
I wonder if we could do it on Dramamine.
You can always do Dramamine. Like, nothing's stopping you.
I mean, we could try.
We can try, yeah.
I mean, y'all can do Dramamine and see if it, VR still works.
It was funny because I was telling these guys I picked up the U-Force for the NES about a week or two ago.
Okay.
And like the motion controls, we're playing Punch-Out. My son goes, "Oh, this must be like what VR was 30 years ago, like because of the motion."
Let me introduce you to a Virtual Boy.
Yeah. Virtual Boy. That made people sick though. I never owned one, but
I loved my Virtual Boy. I never got sick on it.
Never got sick on it?
No, I loved it. But Nintendo's always very. They're very good at how they sort of do their systems and particularly the camera design. Okay. And so I think they knew that could be a problem, and so all of the games are very they make sure there's no crazy bouncing of the camera around and stuff, so it never really impacted me.
MG says,
to look at the other people in the room. Can we do that?
Oh, he's one of those guys. He likes to poke fun at everybody.
Oh.
Nice.
There's Casey.
I also have to run because I got to go.
No worries.
I got to go get ready for the mixer, which hopefully we'll see you at this evening.
So thank you so much for coming up.
Yep. Yeah, thanks for coming on here.
I'll be around all weekend. Feel free to pull me over.
If you're walking by, just I told Mike.
Anytime you come on down.
Sounds good.
You were great.
All right.
Thanks everybody for watching.
And then guys in the chat room, we extended it because we were graced by Chris. And so we're going to wrap this up for today. But we'll be back tomorrow now that we've got everything dialed in.
Yep, everything's good.
From this morning and everything like that. So
everything's good.
we had I think he was mic number 3. I'll just mute it so he doesn't pick up extra.
I think he was.
Yep, we got it all situated. So,
gosh,
how dare you, MG? You should have been here
earlier.
Great
event.
That's what we were saying.
Such a knowledgeable guy.
It was really, really awesome. And you notice he stuck up for us with the Xbox 360. I just want to state that for the record.
Listen, just so everybody knows, okay, I am an equal opportunity offender.
He hates everybody equally. I get it.
Yes, sir. I do.
All right, so let's run one time. Let's where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me on Marbs Man with 2 N's, MARLBS, and then Marbs Plays. And, of course, Retro Marbs.
Retro Marbs. What about you? Let them know, Mike.
You can find me at Izzy Dojo on anything. TikTok,
on anything.
Twitch, YouTube, anywhere you want.
Anywhere you want. That's the way you need it.
That's the way it needs to be done.
That's right. You guys are here, so you know where to find me. So I'm not even going to bother you with that, but we'll be back tomorrow. I think you said it was 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock?
Yeah, I think the doors open for public at 10 a.m.
Sorry.
10 a.m. So probably
resist.
around, I'm thinking 11 o'clock. I'll schedule it.
All right.
You'll see the schedule. We'll have a couple of them tomorrow, and we're going to get into some of these games. We're going to show you guys some footage. Hopefully I can do some of my homework
Magic.
back in the hotel room and pull up some of these games. We got QR codes. At least find videos for them and show
Yeah,
them.
there's
So
there's
we can talk
really
about it.
if
We'll get
you're
these guys
coming
to
out
play.
to CORGSCON, there are some really good games. Don't just go to the vendor tables and ignore that. Get out there and look at those games.
All right, guys. Until next time, keep it buzzing. We'll see you tomorrow.